Hey BookTube, it's Charlie from Reader Turned Writer, and today I wanted to share an update of my bullet journal. So I am definitely crazy. I don't know, I really love bullet journals. I love making bullet journals and lists and organizing and everything, and I wanted my bullet journal to be super organized. But I didn't love how some of it was turning out, and so I actually redid my bullet journal. I had 3 of these notebooks that came when I ordered my bullet journal originally, and I'm using one of them for something else, but that left me with this blank one, and so I just used it to make a new bullet journal and got rid of my other one. And so I just wanted to give you an update and show you what I've done. Okay, so here is my bullet journal. The first page is, again, it's the same thing. It's just a cover page. And then again I did the calendar, and they're all color coded, so these are the colors that I use for each month throughout the bullet journal for different things. And I just did a little doodle in the corner for each month, which is kind of a little bit silly, but it's okay. And then these are just the big events in the month that might interfere with reading or recording videos and those kinds of things. So then I kind of organized it by section. So this first section is all about my reading. And so here's my library books catalog, where I write the book when I get it from the library. As I read it, I can color it in, or if I DNF it, then I can mark it off here that I didn't read it. And then here's the due date, and then I actually added these in because I was finding that I was renewing books a lot to finish reading them or to save them for wrap-ups and things like that. And so this is the new due date if I renew it, and then as I return them I can mark it off, and you can see it's color coded, so that these are ones I read in February, March, April, May. Then this is my 2018 TBR. These are the books I most want to read this year, and then I just color them in and outline them as I finish them in the color of the month that I read them in. And then here are series that I either want to start or finish reading, and the boxes that are outlined darker are the boxes, or are the books that I've already read in the series before the year started, and then the rest of the boxes are just ones that I've read this year. And then here's a page that I added. These are authors that I want to read more books from, and so if I do end up reading another book by one of these authors this year, then I can color it in, and then I can write the book down here and keep track of which books I read down there. These are the classics that I most want to read, and then again as I read them I can mark them off for the color of that month. And these are the books that I most want to reread, and I just color it in as I reread them if I actually get to them. And I know I won't get to all of these books this year. This is just my way of keeping track, I guess. And so then if I'm like, oh, I want to read a classic, or oh, I want to reread a book, I can go here and find one that I want to read. Then I have some favorite quotes pages, and so as I finish a book, if there's a quote that I really like from it, then I can write it in my quotes pages in the color of ink that I read that book through, and I do keep track of which book it came from. And then this page is just, I added this as well. These are my favorite books of 2018. From each month I choose 3 of my favorites, and then at the end of the year it'll be really easy for me to go through and say, pick my favorite books overall of the year. And then this is, as I own them, I check them off. And so this is a really good way for me if I'm looking for books to buy. Then I can go here and I can say, oh, I really loved The Secret Garden and I don't own it yet, so let's see if I can find a copy of The Secret Garden that I want to buy. So these are books that I most want to buy this year, and I can color them in as I buy them. And then these are books, you can see a lot of them are blank, and I'm just kind of filling in books as I buy them, and I'm probably going to run out of room here before the end of the year, but we'll see what happens with that. And then here's my book log. I keep track of the book, the author, the rating, the date that I finished it, how many books here. I put a star there if it's a reread, and then at the top of the page, if I DNF a book, I just add a check mark there. And at the end of the month, I just do a line under it and then start in the new color. And I left a lot more room this time because I remembered to do that, so that I will hopefully not run out of room before I finish reading. And then I have my stats page, which I really love my stats page. It's my favorite page of the bullet journal. So here's just a graph of the number of pages I read each month. And at the end of the month, I just fill it in. So then at the end of the year, I'll be able to see how many pages I read each month. And then I keep track of female authors versus male authors. So when I finish a book, I just come and I mark which one it is. And then my star ratings, again, I just mark it off. And then here are just different genres, and I added some genres from my last one. And then up here, this is a new thing. I was keeping track of this somewhere else because I didn't know where else to put it in my other bullet journal, so I put it on my stats page this time. And I just keep track of how many books I read each month I got from the library, I owned, or ebooks or audiobooks, and then how many each month that I read from my 2018 TBR. And then I also started keeping track of whether it's a new read or a reread for me. And you can see I do a lot more rereads, new reads than rereads. And then these, I accidentally switched these. So this should be donated and this should be bought, because I have not donated this many books, but I have bought this many books. So I'm just keeping track of how many books I buy and donate each month. And then before I actually had, I think, a 90 books goal for the year, but I actually upped it to 140, and I'm actually behind right now by like 5 books or something, which is kind of annoying, but maybe I'll catch up. I don't know if I'll actually reach 140, but it's really fun to fill in these squares each month at the end of the month with how many books I read. And you can see that I fill it in with the colors. So like in January I read 7 books, so I filled in 5 books, and then I kind of filled in what I felt like was 2. And then this page is just, my daughter is turning 4 and we've started reading chapter books together. And so these are just books that I've been recommended would be good to read with her. And then I just mark them off as we read them together. And then this section is my TBR readathons sections. I am currently doing a readathon and really like it, and I really love having a TBR for it, and so I figured just have some pages so that if I decide to do more TBRs this month, I can put or more readathons this month, and I can put the TBRs in there. Then here's my booktube section. So here are just my YouTube video ideas, and I've kind of spaced it out a little bit more because I was running out of room in my other one. And I also added a page for original tag ideas because I would love to do some original tags. Here's my book review notes and target audience notes. And then here's my kind of stats page for my booktube. So I just keep track of checking for the newbie tag each month, and I have it color coded. So green is that I did it, yellow is that I kind of did it, and red is that I just didn't do it at all. And then same for commenting on videos every day. And then here I just keep track of each week how many videos I posted. So you can see I did 3 that month, and then 2 this week, and different things. And then here I just keep track of how many books I've read for booktube, and so my goal is to read at least 7 books a month, 1 nonfiction and 1 fiction at least. And so I just keep track of how many books, how many nonfiction, and how many fictional books I've read. And then these are just the videos, so I want to make and post 100 videos this year, and so this is where I'm at so far. And then here are just some notes that I have on comments and stuff. And then here are just some business notes, and so these are just random notes that I take. And if I run out of room here, then I can always go back and write on the back here. So at the end of the section of the notes, then I start my monthly reading track. And so I just have 4 pages for each one. We'll skip January because January is a little bit different. But so I have the month, and then I write down the books that I've read, and here I write down how many pages are in each book, and then at the end of the month I can total it up for how many books and how many pages I've read. These are books that I've donated, these are the books that I've bought. Video ideas I have for booktube, and I check them off as I do them. Here I just write my best videos for the month, and here I write any goals that I have for the month. And then on my calendar here, on this side I write down the videos that I have planned to do that week, and on this side originally I did notes, but I've actually changed it since then to doing blog posts. So the blog posts that I want to do that month, and then the video ideas I want to do that month. And then as I do them, I write down the video that I actually post and color it in, and I write down the blog post that I post and color it in a little bit lighter. And then I have other things like I went through and I put like the big events and stuff on the actual calendar so I can see it. And then the next page in the months, I have just a section where I can just write down thoughts and notes that I that I have for the month. And then on this side, this is just my unread library each month, and so I just go through and I mark it off as I read it. And so these are the ebooks that I have on my phone, on my Kindle that I haven't read yet, and these are the hard copies that I own that I haven't read yet. And each month it changes, so like I marked this one off for that month, so then I didn't put this one on my list in June, obviously, because I've already read it. So that's the end of the bullet journal from that direction. And then on the other side, I just have books, notes, and thoughts. So I do want to do some sort of art here, but I am not an artist, so I'm not sure what to do there. I've considered having my husband maybe draw something or something there, but if you have any ideas, let me know. And then I just have, I can just have a section where I can write notes on the books that I am reading as I'm reading them. And so that's it for my bullet journal. So that's my bullet journal. I definitely love bullet journals and all things bullet journals, honestly, and I'm really, really happy with how this one has turned out, and I think that I can keep it pretty well organized for the rest of the year so that I don't have to redo it again. I've actually promised my husband that I will not redo my bullet journal again until 2019, because when I do redo it, it's all I want to be doing and it takes up all my time for like a week, and he's like, where's my wife? Anyways, do you have a bullet journal? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching my video. I will see you in the next one.